Would you ever give a loan to your family or a friend?
I don't think I would.
Welcome back to our advice column series. We are filming our third episode about finances. So we're going to talk about controversial real life scenarios about finances that we're going to share opinions about.
Yeah, and be sure to let us know your opinion in the comments if you have one.
Would you ever give a loan to your family or a friend?
I don't think I would. Here's one scenario in which I could be convinced is if they were trying to start some type of business venture or they were trying to start something off on their own and I believe in the potential of it, I would maybe be willing to give them a loan with an interest rate instead of them going to a bank and trying to really more institutionalized. Yeah.
Okay. For me, I would consider giving a loan to a family member, but I wouldn't give a loan to a friend.
Why that distinction?
So I think there's an element of family where my closest loved ones, like my mom, dad, or brother, I feel like I would have an obligation to help them if they're in need. And that could also mean financially. Versus with friends, I feel like it could go down a whole rabbit hole if I gave a loan to a friend, because friends may not be friends forever versus family is family forever. And so with friends, there's less guarantee that that money would be recovered, and that person could also just disappear forever.
Okay. Does it matter if they're nuclear family or not? Would you treat your, I don't know, an aunt or a cousin as more like a friend relationship in that mentality?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm talking about nuclear immediate family.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would not think too much about the family or friend. I wouldn't distinguish between family versus friend. I think for me, I would probably think about the recoverability of the loan and the interest rate. Yeah.
So what if your friend's business tanks and they can't recover for you?
I would sue them.
Okay.
Yeah, because they owe me the money because it's a loan.
Yeah.
That's different from equity, because that would be I believe in that business and equity can be gone. But I don't know. If it's possible to sue them and recover it, I would expect to get my money back.
All right. On a similar vein about debt,
Yeah.
when do you think it would make sense to personally go into debt about something?
I think you have to believe that you're temporarily going into debt is going to pay out something much higher in the future. I think the most obvious example where I'm yes, that makes sense is you're going to be a doctor and you need to take out loans for your degree.
Yeah.
And I think it also matters how quickly you will pay it back and how quickly you will earn. What your salary will be afterwards matters a lot, or whatever your payout will be afterwards matters a lot. What about non-education things though? People will go into debt for things like cars, for houses, for silly things, sometimes to start a business.
As long as they're confident that they're able to pay off that loan.
Okay. But they're technically in debt.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's okay as long as you feel like you can cover the regular.
Yeah, you can recover it later. It shouldn't be debt for the sake of debt without the knowledge or preparation that you'll be able to pay it off later.
Okay. Do you think that people should be restricted from pursuing their passion in life just because of their financial means or background? So for example, if I was in high school and I feel really passionately about becoming an artist, but I know that maybe the potential to hit it out of the park and really make a great living off of it is very low, but it's still an expensive degree. Do you think they have is it wrong to want to do that?
I don't think it's wrong to want to do that, but I do think that everyone should consciously be aware of the financial impact of their decisions and evaluate that when they're making that decision. So I think for me, I don't think it's wrong, but I would err on the side of finding a career that I feel like I can individually and be able to pay for.
I don't know if it's fair to say that it's a failure of the system to educate people about the loan that they're going to be taking on. Like, I agree with you that people should have the basic awareness and knowledge of what they are getting into before they commit to it. And that responsibility is on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our third scenario is, do you think you should ever pay rent to an SO if they own the apartment?
Okay, so two scenarios, right? So for example, if they own the apartment and let's say the mortgage is paid off, you're just paying them. And if the mortgage is not paid off, you're helping them pay their mortgage, but you're not building any equity while they're building equity.
And the equity being like the household, like the asset.
Yeah,
household.
like they're paying down their mortgage, but you're not getting any value from them paying down the mortgage.
But you are gaining value from living there.
Yes. Yes, so. I can. This is one where I can see the other side of it, right? Like I can see why people would say yes.
My opinion is, if I had a significant other that owns an apartment and I am now moving in, I do think I should pay them rent. And that's because the value I gain is having an apartment to live in. And in any other scenario, to move into an apartment, I would need to pay rent. And so it's basically like, while he is your significant other, he is also basically your landlord too. And that's why I think, at least, maybe it's not a full amount, like the market value of living somewhere else, but I do think as a resident, I should contribute to that. Like,
but how much rent should you contribute?
I think that's a decision between the two people. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be just a fraction of market rate. But I do think it should be something, because otherwise it's like you're kind of just like leeching off them, right? Fair black and white thing. Black and white is market rate, like what any other landlord would pay you.
Yeah.
So it's more a discussion that you need to have, like, and also the the generosity and willingness of your SO to decide that.
But you do think that they should discount it?
I think that is something that a kind person would do, but it's not an obligation or necessary for them to do that.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I think there are things outside of just pure rent that in my mind it would feel like it's more fair for you to cover fully. But I feel like in my mind it would feel very wrong to help them pay down their mortgage. So what if you guys get married and they add you as a name on the mortgage? So what about in that case? Now you have a piece of the equity. I think in that case, then you should help start paying. And honestly, like, what would probably be fair is to retroactively pay for what they had paid prior, or to even it out. Okay. In my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems like the defining line is like marriage or not marriage. Like, if you are not married yet, then is there obligation to?
No, I think the defining line is ownership.
Okay.
So, like, even if you weren't married but you got put on the deed, I think then it would be very fair for you to pay your share of it and retroactively pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about it from the sense of equity. I guess for me, I'm thinking more from, like, given that I don't own a place, I'm thinking about it more from, like, as a renter. You know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because it would be weird for them to feel like you're leeching off of them.
Yeah.
That would be weird. And no one wants to feel like that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, they're also giving up something for you living there. They're giving up the space that they had before.
Yeah.
They're also accommodating you to live in their space. So, yeah, they're giving up something, and you're gaining something.
That's true. But when you put it that way, it's almost like whoever wanted to move in more should take the deeper discount.
But if you're in a serious relationship where that's going to happen, like where you will live with them anyway, like I don't think it matters as much how much someone wants you to move in versus another person.
To determine the price?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So I have another example around like kind of similar vein. So for example, let's say like you guys are in a serious relationship and one side's like family owns the apartment and they ask you to pay rent, but they don't ask your partner to pay rent because it's your partner's side of the family. Is that fair? Is that unfair?
Yeah. That sucks.
Like, does that make sense to you? It kind of makes sense a little bit. Like, I can see, I feel like under your framework, I feel like it would make sense.
Yeah. So I can see this happening especially in Asian cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, where a lot of times like parents might purchase property for their kids. And in that sense, it's kind of like their kid is like part of them in a way, right? So it's, I see a world where like, especially in Asian families, they wouldn't expect their kid to pay them back for buying them a house.
Okay.
But I know in other situations they do.
Yeah.
And I think why they might want like their daughter's like significant other to pay rent might come from a place of they're not part of the family yet. Like I think in the scenario we're talking about, one of them, like the parents paid and is now requiring the significant other to pay, right? I don't agree with that. I think it's kind of related to my answer on the prior one. Like I'm still viewing like whoever bought it as like a landlord, regardless of the relationship that either kid has. And so I think in an ideal world, like both should pay. So that's why I think it is weird that one is paying. But I'm playing devil's advocate of why one might not be paying because of the cultural differences, like the Asian culture that the parent might be instilling.
So you're saying that it's like an Asian cultural thing where they will just buy the unit for the kid and then not expect them to pay anything?
If they're extremely rich, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is common for very rich Asian families.
You're actually right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Let's say you have a kid.
Yeah.
You have the means to buy your kid a house.
Okay.
Do you expect them to pay you or not?
I would help with the down payment. I would expect the kid to pay the mortgage.
Okay. What if your kid... Okay, all right. What if your kid doesn't have the ability to pay? But they're pursuing their dream or something like that. You know that they're like working hard, but they don't have the ability to pay for something as nice as what you want to give them. Would you make them live in like somewhere not nice?
So this is where I think my... what I would do, I actually like, this is my history. I have always paid rent. I feel like children, when they become adults, they should be self-sufficient.
Okay.
And rent what's within their means.
Yeah.
Based off their job or anything, right? I don't think that there should be an obligation or expectation that parents should buy their kid a home. Like when there's other options, like they could pay rent in like a place that they can afford. I think where it would make sense to help as a parent, like to my kid in the down payment is like maybe they're buying their first starter home and they're having a family. The expectation is, for me, is that my kid is self-sufficient. They're financially sound and they're able to afford their own living expenses. So me buying a house is more like a gift for them. It's like I'm helping them like with down payment and then they take care of the rest, including the mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that is ideal, but I don't know if I would be able to adhere to that if I really loved my kid. Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because if it's not extremely, like, if it's not a huge drain on me or my family's finances to provide a little bit more for the kid and make sure that they live a more comfortable life even into their adulthood, I feel like I would do it. As long as I knew that they weren't like squandering their time or like wasting away, I would probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of where the water is a little muddied with family.
Yeah.
Because family is almost like an extension of yourself. It's not like friends, right? So there is more like when it comes to debt, when it comes to loans that families and parents would do for their kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if so here's like what I would say is like if my kid wanted to pursue like something that could make them self-sufficient in like let's say 5 to 10 years in a high cost of living city, and if like what they can afford on their own is something really not nice, like in New York there are many not nice apartments that would like, or if that would mean that they have to live a really long commute away from like wherever they're working, I think I would want them to feel more comfortable. I think I just feel, my opinion on why I would do that for my kid is because I didn't have that, and it made me feel really, really pressured like for many years. And I don't think I would want my kid to feel that way. Yeah. When I graduated and I first moved to New York, it's high cost of living. Like you are paying through the nose for everything.
Yeah.
And you just started working. Like it was a very stressful time period.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would want my kid to feel that way if I knew that they were working hard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want someone else to experience that like 5 roommates stuffed in a 3-bedroom like apartment, even though it is common. But like if I had the means, I wouldn't want my kid to experience that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I can see in that scenario, which it's different from our original question.
Yeah.
I can see I can see myself doing that as well for that early stage of out of college, early career. Yeah.
I know, but it's like playing devil's advocate. It's very hard to toe the line because what if it kills their inner drive to like do anything substantial with their life? I don't know. Right.
Yeah. And that's where it's troubling. Like
exactly.
It's kind of like what we were talking about, student loans.
Yeah.
Like you also have to like hope and trust that your kid is like a good egg because they can also take advantage of that, right? And I do know of scenarios where kids just become spoiled as fuck, right? Because everything is being supplied to them.
Because they're not responsible.
Yeah.
Or they take it for granted.
Yeah. So I do think that it's
such a fine line.
It's a fine line, and you can't do it for everything.
Okay.
It has to be like very scenario based.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our answer on like the loans and overall is maybe we would go further for our kids, but not for family or friends other than that.
For me, I would say I would go further for my family, immediate family.
Okay.
But not further than that.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to our 3rd episode. We are always looking for feedback on how to improve, so please leave a comment, a like, or text us and let us know. Thanks.